And I should say as well, when we were breaking down what 3D printing is, as I said, this is probably the most common type, which is melting a spool of solid plastic to make it pliable and drawing out the shapes of it. But there are other types. There's resin 3D printers, which are basically a bath of a resin mix that is a UV activated resin. And then they have what amounts to basically a computer monitor built into the bottom of the bath. And it has UV pixels. And so it flashes up the shape of the layer that you want to print at that particular moment using UV light, and that cures the resin in that shape. And then the print bed actually lifts that layer up a bit and it flashes up the next layer. And so it does that. Those can be a little bit faster than these printers. They can be a little bit more, a little bit smoother. If you look at this print, I don't know if it'll come up on camera, but up close, you can sort of see layer lines on that, because this was printed sort of standing up. And so you get that kind of texture on things that can be undesirable. You can deal with it with coatings and whatever, but with a resin 3D printer, those layer lines tend to be far less apparent. But conversely, small detail on the resin 3D printers can be a little bit muted because of that, that smoothness. The main issue with the resin 3D printers, well, there's two. One is that they are generally quite a small print volume. And the other one is that you're dealing with liquids, and toxic liquids at that. And there can be some pretty stinky fumes, and they're not great to hang around. So you kind of need a dedicated print room if you're running a resin 3D printer, and you also need to be willing to deal with spills and mess and that. I don't know where they come in terms of expensive materials, but the printers themselves are generally more expensive than the FDM printers. And that would be generally because you're dealing with a display technology. You're essentially buying a monitor with a bunch of robotics attached to it, as opposed to just a heater with some motors.
Yeah.
And then there's other types, like there's a type that uses a tub of powder that it melts with a laser and then rakes over the top. And so it builds the layers that way. Those seem to be very popular among the sort of, can't think of the name of the service, but like public ordering services where you like order a model to be made for you. One thing that they seem to be very efficient or effective at doing is including color in that. I'm not sure exactly how that's accomplished, because with these printers you're dealing with the color. Like obviously this is all one color, because that is the color of the filament it was printed in. Now, it is possible with some heavy modification and a lot of hassle to mix colors as you're printing. It's not something I've experimented with, and it's probably a path for improvement further down the line to make them more appealing to home users and so on. Just have a few different lines of filament going in of different colors, and you can mix and match as you need to. But yeah, that's still an area for development.
Okay.
Incidentally, the top layer of that may look different because I did paint that with some initial base coats.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see the full version, go to the Uncle Gold Podcast YouTube channel or watch the next clip.